since the defeat against... We see that you're not as strong as you have been at the beginning of the season with PSG. Is this something... How can you explain your poor performance recently?
Déjà, bonjour à tous. Oui, c'est vrai que...
Yep, good afternoon, everyone. I'm not maybe playing on top form at the moment. There are a couple of... But that happens to everyone. It's just a tough spell. Obviously, I'm doing everything I can to ensure that I'm giving it my all, and that's what I'm going to do. But I'm not worried at all. So you're in the semi-final of the Champions League. Can you talk us through what you've learned from last year compared to where you are this year? I don't know, is your approach different? How did the defeat last year help you? It's a little bit difficult for me to really go into details here with anything specific. Obviously now we're in the semi-final of the Champions League, but we have never been to a final. But this is just a experience, maybe lack of experience, and maybe we'll be able to better manage things, be this in Paris or in London tomorrow. But we're going to do everything we can to put it out the bag and to ensure that there is a different end. I think that maybe we can talk about fatigue. I'm not sure if fatigue is the issue, but I do think that we shouldn't get too stuck up in this. Sometimes we play well, sometimes we don't play as well. But as I mentioned, tomorrow I'm going to do everything I can to ensure that I'm giving it my all and that the team is at 100%. The interpreter apologizes, she cannot hear the question. It's been a little while now, and I think that with regards to the match that we were played, it's obviously different. It's a different game. It will be a different game tomorrow, even because it's just at the stage of the competition that we're at. We're going to try and pull out a different result tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to change that much compared to how we play and our playing style. We're always true to ourselves and true to our way of playing football. But obviously we are going to do some things differently because we lost last time and tomorrow we're looking for the win. You lost last week against Nice in Ligue 1 in France. So what is the mindset for the team? How are you guys feeling, knowing that maybe you didn't dominate, you're not that same Imperial Paris Saint-Germain as you have been before? As I mentioned before, on a personal note, we're not worried. I'm not worried, the team's not worried. We're in the semi-final of the Champions League, and we are here to play the game. We're giving 1,000%, and we are not going to be thinking about the last defeat against Nice, or even the draw in Nantes. That's not what we wanted, but it's behind us. It's water on the bridge, and we're going to focus on the game tomorrow, and we're going to do everything that we can to ensure that we get the right result tomorrow. We've spoken about experience against Dortmund in last year, also the game here at the Merit Stadium in October. What have you taken away? What are the takeaways from these different... My personal experience, you mean? As I've mentioned earlier, obviously it's going to be a different game tomorrow. Maybe there are certain things that happened in October that we let through, that we won't be letting through tomorrow, but obviously we are going to be a lot more accurate. We're going to be a lot more prepared. And even with all of the other games that we've played in the French League, in the French Cups, and in the Champions League, we've learnt a lot, we've changed a lot, and we've developed a lot. And we're going to show a different face tomorrow, because we're not the same team that we were in October. The game in October Dembele wasn't there. So what does this change, the fact that he's going to be here tomorrow for the semi-final? Dembele is an essential player for our team. He's an incredible player. And when he's on your side, it's always better. It's better than not having him. Therefore, I hope that he's going to bring it to the game tomorrow, and we're going to do everything to help him as well. The issue is often linked to intensity, physical intensity, and what are these types of midfielders? We see very intense. Damien Rice tomorrow will be in midfield. How is there a certain fear, or is there something that you're going to try and create in order to ensure that you're up to the same fitness levels as Damien Rice in the Arsenal midfield? I think I've already answered this type of question before with regards to physical aspects, but I can repeat the same thing if you want. I don't think that there's an issue at all in our midfield. We won against Liverpool. You said exactly the same thing to us. You said, oh, from an athletic point of view, it's going to be difficult for you, but actually we won that. And it didn't, maybe in Aston Villa it was different when we were at Villa Park, but it was better when we were at home. It's always a different game, and I don't think it's because we lack in physicality. We can get better. We're maybe not always hitting 10 out of 10, but we're going to do everything to get that win tomorrow. And we know that this will help us, and we're going to help the team win the game. Thank you very much, RMC Sports. We've seen wonderful games this season. So we've got Liverpool, Manchester City. Do you think that Arsenal are the favourites tomorrow? Or do you think that PSG, maybe being the underdog, is in the best position? I don't think there's a favourite for tomorrow. We're playing an away leg for us, so that's always a little bit different. So maybe that's what it is. But no, I don't think that there's a favourite for the game tomorrow. And the same will be said when we play in Paris next week. Since Luis Enrique came, we've seen a new dimension in PSG. Could you maybe tell us how he's helped you and PSG progress on a daily basis? Thank you. I think I've had the opportunity in the past to speak about this, but I can answer the question if you want. No issue at all. He's helped me a lot. He's helped me from a tactical standpoint, because I always tended to think that it was better just to run a little bit all over the place, but that's not always the best thing. He's incredible in this aspect. I think I've already said that. He trusts me, and he trusts my teammates as well. And this trust actually helps us pull up our level as well. For l'équipe, we spoke about Ousmane Dembélé. He is a cornerstone of the team. Can you talk about his leadership? Is he someone that leads by example on the pitch? What type of leader is Dembélé? That's exactly it. I think he's a leader and he shows by example. He leads by example. We can see this in the way that he gives it his all. He's always 100% in the game, not only up front, but also he gets down the back to defend when he needs to. And we want to help him. We want to give it our all for him as well. And he's an incredible type of leader. It's an incredible type of leadership. And in the dressing room, and even when we're off the pitch, everyone knows him. Everyone finds him quite funny. There's not one single player at PSG that doesn't like Dembélé, so it's incredible. Thank you very much. I'm from RMC. What is the difference between this type of game and second question? Have you spoken about set pieces? Because we know that set pieces is one of Arsenal's strengths. So, Doué or Barcola? That was the first question. I think that both of them have different qualities. They have different arms in their arsenal, and it's up to the coach to decide whether they're going to play together, whether one of them's going to play. It's up that decision is his, not mine. But obviously, Doué and Barcola are both very important players for the squad, and I hope that whoever plays, it will be a great performance. And what was the second question? The second question was set pieces. Okay. So we are going to be talking about this. And when we've got these for set pieces, we also have the right statistics for statistics, but we're going to see what we can be doing, and offensively and also defensively. What type of game will we be expecting tomorrow? And how do you think this first leg is going to go against Arsenal? So tomorrow, I think the game is going to be quite difficult. I think that we're going to give them a run for their money and vice versa. It will be a game that the devil will be in the details, and that's always the case for the Champions League. But we will try and ensure that we're not making those mistakes, and we're going to try and force Arsenal to make those mistakes that we need them to make. I think that Arsenal is a great team. Arsenal was a great team in October. They're still a great team. They've got a brilliant squad, and I think it's their best quality. I don't think it's the set pieces per se. For me, it's the way that the squad plays together, up front, down the back, and the fact that they're a well-welded team. It's the same thing at PSG, and that's what we're going to try and play to tomorrow as well. Thank you very much. I've got a question with regards to managing your emotions. It's a big game tomorrow, so how are you keeping a cool head? I imagine that the coach speaks to you a lot, but do you guys have player meetings? Do you guys have chats? Or do you try and maybe not talk about things and not let it get too big? Yeah, absolutely. It's the mental aspect's a very important aspect, and especially for this type of game. We've had fixtures like this, Aston Villa, Liverpool, up until now. Even in our league, it's important to keep a cool head, to have good emotional control. We speak about this in the dressing room before we come out onto the pitch, again at half-time, and even at the end of the game. And it's a very important aspect for this type of fixture, especially with the pressure that's on our shoulders. Thank you very much. If you give 400% of what you've got tomorrow, do you think that PSG can qualify? If we give everything we've got, yeah, I think that we can come away with our heads high and proud of what we've shown. And I hope that that will be our ticket for the final, and I hope, but I can promise our supporters that we're going to do everything. We've got one last question for Vitinha, please.
Dane, I wonder whether I can ask a question in English. It's been so obvious for everyone that's seen you this season that you're one of the best midfielders in this competition. You've clearly been brilliant in this competition. I wonder whether I could just ask you about your time in English football. Was that a big learning experience for you? Was it a frustrating time? Was it a sort of a positive time in terms of, learning more about football? Could you just talk about that, please?
I think that I didn't see that it was a positive experience at the time, but it's because I was young. And when you're young, you want it doesn't mean that it wasn't a positive experience. It's just that I couldn't see it. But it was incredible. It was positive and frustrating. So to respond to your question, I didn't get a lot of playing time, but I was able to develop not only on the pitch, but also off the pitch. English football brought a lot to me, gave me a lot, helped me play at the level I'm playing now, and if I had the opportunity to do it again, I would.